"Thanks a lot," she said. "If I was the least bit serious about all this nonsense, I'd probably be crushed."
"If you were serious, I wouldn't have said it," Neil returned. "I'd be working your ass off to make a musician out of you instead of just a star."
He shifted his guitar case and took her arm.
"Come on, let's get on the road. Paulie and Jean are already at the auditorium rehearsing."
One side of his mouth lifted in a lopsided smile.
"They're obviously more driven than we are, love."
She knew better than that, but said nothing as she closed the door and started down the hall toward a bank of elevators at the end of the corridor. "I'm afraid we're going to be even later than you think," she remarked, finally. "I have to stop at the post office and mail this package." There was a flicker of curiosity in Neil's eyes as he glanced down at the package. In the 4 years he had known Pandora, he couldn't remember her either receiving or sending any mail. She seemed to live totally in the here and now.
"I guess I can handle that. Is it important?"
"Oh, yes, it's important." Her hand was trembling again as she pushed the button of the elevator. She deliberately steadied it. She mustn't be so transparent. She could tell by Neil's expression that he'd already noticed something was upsetting her. She'd never be able to fool Philip, who had always been extraordinarily sensitive to her emotional state, if she couldn't control herself better than this. She lifted her chin and gave Neil a blindingly beautiful smile. Very important. Her smile suddenly faded, and a faint frown creased her forehead. "Do you remember last year when you were ill with the flu and I played Florence Nightingale?" He nodded.
"How could I forget? I've never been so bitchin' miserable in my life."
"You said you owed me one." His eyes narrowed.
"Are you calling in debts, Pandora?"
She nodded. "I need a favor." She moistened her lips. Heavens, this was hard. She had taken care of Neil because he was her friend and he needed her. She felt shabby extracting payment now for what she had given freely. "I'll understand if you don't want to do it, but I thought I'd—"
"Oh, for heaven's sakes, be quiet, Pandora."
The doors of the elevator slid open and Neil nudged her into the cubicle.
"You're my friend, damn it."
His thumb punched the lobby button.
"If you want a favor, ask. It's not a crime to need a little help, you know."
"Okay." She drew a deep breath. "I want you to move in with me."
"What?"
The doors of the elevator slid silently closed.
"Come in, Abernathy."
James Abernathy hesitated a moment before he opened the polished oak library door. He wasn't in any hurry to beard the lion in his den. He had deliberately taken his time getting to El Kabbar's estate from his office in London. Usually it annoyed him to make the long drive when the sheik wanted to sign papers or relay instructions on the more delicate transactions of his multi-corporation empire. In James Abernathy's eyes, London was the only civilized corner of the world, and he couldn't see why the sheik insisted on living outside its environs. He realized that El Kabbar was a fine horseman and possessed one of the most famous stables in the Middle East. Still, there was Hyde Park in which to ride, and he was sure the facilities were more than adequate. This time, however, he was grateful for the delay of the drive before the coming interview. Even over the phone, he had been able to tell that the sheik was not pleased at the news Abernathy had received in the morning's mail. Abernathy had thought El Kabbar would be relieved that the blasted girl had surfaced at last. After all, they had been searching for her for over 6 years. Reigning sheiks were notoriously arrogant, and Philip El Kabbar was more difficult than most. However, as his agent, Abernathy was extremely well paid to put up with that arrogance. There wasn't any question that he'd continue to do so, not in today's economy. When Abernathy entered the library, El Kabbar didn't look any more pleased than he'd sounded on the phone. His black brows were knit in a frown over stormy blue-green eyes.
"Where is it?"
he asked curtly.
"I have it here."
Abernathy strode briskly forward and placed the package on the Sheraton desk.
"I opened it as I do everything addressed to you."
He paused before adding apologetically, "I had no idea it was anything of a personal nature." He started to turn away. "Now, if you don't need me, sit down and quit trying to